Hello again, I'm Rodney Reynolds from 3dgameman.com and welcome to another video review. Today I am looking at the NZXT Phantom 410 mid-tower case. This actually kind of looks like a full tower case, doesn't it, from the box, but it is a pretty large mid-sized tower case. It's also a little on the heavy side. The box itself looks quite nice, pictures of the product on it, as well as lots of features and specifications about it. Now, since this is a fairly heavy case, I will open it from the bottom. It has your typical case packaging material, styrofoam on either end, and the case itself is in a plastic bag. There is a lot of protective plastic on this, on the top, the front, as well as the window on the right side. They also have protective plastic on the inside of the window. They include a user's manual, screws, motherboard standoffs, and cable ties. This is a mid-sized tower case, but it's a little on the big side. It almost looks like a full-size tower case, but it is not. That's mainly due to the oversized panels, one at the top and another one at the front. This case comes in three colors: red, black, and white. And the styling, while, I like kind of clean lines and elegant styling on cases, I do like this. The way that they've done this looks extremely nice. At the top, there's lots of ventilation. They include one 140mm exhaust fan. You can install a bunch of optional fans at the top here as well. You can install another 140mm fan if you want to. You can also choose to install 120mm fans at the top. And you can install a radiator here at the top if you choose. At the top on the left side is the power and reset buttons, as well as LEDs for power and hard drive activity. On the right side at the top is a fan controller. You've got three different speeds, from the lowest to the highest, two USB 3 ports, two USB 2 ports, and the audio jacks, microphone and headphone. At the front, there's a door which opens to reveal three 5¼ drive bays. Now, these drive bays come out very, very easily. You just kind of push this way. I don't have long fingernails, so bear with me here. And then just remove it. Slip in the drive, and away you go. More of this very nice mesh styling, so lots of ventilation at the front, bottom, and as you can see inside of here, there's one 120mm intake fan. Now, while they include one 120mm intake fan here at the front, you can install another 120mm fan, or you can have one 140mm fan at the front. On the left side, there's a window, and you can choose to install an optional 120mm or 140mm fan. The right side panel is plain, but there's nothing plain about the back of the case. They include one 120mm exhaust fan. Here's where the motherboard's I/O shield plate gets installed. They include 7 ventilated expansion slots, 2 rubber grommeted holes for water cooling tubes and or cables to pass through, extra ventilation. And at the bottom is where a standard ATX power supply gets installed, and they include 4 thumb screws, 2 on each side panel. There's a fair amount of room to work on the inside of the case, but unfortunately the motherboard tray is not removable, but they do include a large hole on the motherboard tray for the cooler's retention plate, and that is an enormous time saver. They also include lots of holes for cables to pass through. Some of them are actually grommeted and the others are rounded, so you don't have to worry about cutting the cables. And speaking of cables, there's lots, and I do mean lots, of space behind the motherboard tray and the right side panel, so you can tuck pretty much everything back here. All of the drive bays have a toolless, or if you prefer, screwless design. The three 5¼ drive bays at the top, as well as the other 3.5-inch drive bays here at the bottom. Now these plastic drive rails slide out from the other side, so you would pull that out from the other side, then pop the drive on it and slide it back in. And by the way, each of these will accept a 3.5-inch drive or a 2.5-inch drive. And by the way, you can fit 4 at the top and 2 more at the bottom. And by the way, this top drive cage is removable. To remove the top drive cage, simply push on these 2 levers and pull the drive cage out. You can install another optional 120mm or 140mm fan here. Video card length will vary depending upon this drive cage, whether you have it installed or whether you have a fan installed on it. So video card length will vary between 230 to 305 millimeters. You can install a cooler that's up to 170 millimeters in height. And by the way, the space behind the motherboard tray and the right side panel is 25 millimeters. Now the motherboard tray itself has all kinds of punch outs, and this makes it very easy to organize the cables behind the motherboard tray. At the bottom they include 4 rubber rests for the power supply to lodge on. Each of the expansion slots have thumb screws, so this will make it very easy to install cards. Now before I sum this video review up, I wanted to show you the removable panels. There is one at the top. Very easy to yank this off, and another one which just comes off at the front. So with these removed, well, you've got lots of freedom to install drives and fans and radiators and pretty much anything else you want to install in these places. Now, have a listen to the stock cooling. Us humans are visual creatures. We'll probably get something that looks good over something that's practical or functional. But this product has the looks and also has the features and is functional and practical. So if you're in the market for a case that looks different and is jam-packed full of excellent features, I think you have found it. Overall, this is a kick-ass product. Until next time, take care.